What's going on, guys? This is Coach Joe with Heartletics, and welcome to one of our live coaching calls that we do here. For anybody that is kind of wondering, what is our coaching program all about? How does it work? I think that this video is going to answer all those questions for you. So I'm just going to go around the room. I'm going to call on a few different members. What have you tried doing before Heartletics? I guess let's get started with where you were, and then we'll kind of get to, where we are today. So what's everything that you tried doing before Heartletics?
Maybe the shorter list is what haven't I tried? I did Weight Watchers a couple of times, Noom, intermittent fasting. I did a couple of things my wife had, and that's Nutrisystem. Did that twice, and that's just the diet side of it, right? Because then there's all, you name a Beachbody product, I tried that too. So, I've done it all, and it's been a long, long road of trying and trying and trying and trying to do it on my own.
Hmm.
Um, so,
So, so then let me ask you this, man. What kind of led you to Heartletics, or how did you find out about Heartletics?
well, I guess I got to the point where I was the biggest I've ever been, and all my joints hurt. I was out of breath, couldn't tie my shoes. I had to go get slip-on shoes because I couldn't tie my shoes because I'd go out of breath. Um, you know, when I had to go and get the size, when I walked into the big and tall store, all that kind of stuff, because I couldn't find anything that would fit me anymore. That's when I said, something's got to change here, because doing it myself is not working. And I saw a Facebook post that you made, and just listening to what you said and seeing videos like this, it made me realize that you worked with real people. You didn't have celebrities on saying how great you were, right? You had the guy next door saying what a change it was. And that's what made me make that call. There's so much to say, right? Because, this did help me get physically better. Lost the weight, built the muscle, don't have the aches and pains I had before. So physically it was better. But, what it did for me mentally, I can't put words to. It's just the confidence I have in myself, to be able to look myself in the mirror and say, "Dang, you look good, and you did it," right? That's one of the things that, I did this. Like, nobody can take that away from me, and it's been sustainable. It's something that I can do. I can go on vacation and continue to do it. It's not like, oh, I don't have my meals from Nutrisystem, or I don't, how am I going to, do this or do that? Um, and so, it's just well rounded. It's not just one portion of it. It's your mind, body, and soul that changes during this program. And if somebody's on the fence, this, what I was thinking about this, you've got to make the jump. You got to make the plunge, because you'll always be sitting on the fence. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, if you're sitting on that fence, you're probably going to tip over and fall the wrong way. So, you just got to take the plunge, and there's no way around it. And that's what I did. I mean, I finally was fed up, and I just said, you know what, I'm going to make the call, and it's the best call I've made.
Love that.
It definitely it's transformed me. So, kudos to the Wolf Pack, kudos to Coach Joe. I appreciate everything that I've gained from this program.
Yeah, I also tried the Nutrisystem, the disgusting Nutrisystem diet, keto, ideal protein. My wife did Weight Watchers for a while, so might as well say I was on that too, because we were all eating the same thing. I even tried Adipex, some prescription drugs to try to help P90X, different workout programs and things like that. But the weight would come off, and I hadn't learned anything. I hadn't changed any habits. So as soon as I got away from those programs, which you can't sustain that enjoyably, any of those for your lifetime. So as soon as you get away from that, boom, there's the weight back. So I just fell right back into that same rut that I was in.
Yeah, yeah. And so what kind of led you into, or I guess how did you stumble upon Heartletics, and then what kind of led you to scheduling that discovery call with me?
Yeah. Um, well, like I said, I was in a rut. I'd gotten right back into the same old habits, and I'd let myself really go. I was probably the unhealthiest I'd ever been. I'd been on blood pressure meds for a long time, just simply because it was in my head. It's hereditary. That's the way my family, everybody in my family is on blood pressure medicine. So I'm destined to just stay on that as well. So um, I was up to like 260 some odd pounds and working a swing shift and not sleeping well, not taking care of myself. Didn't have energy to play with my kids as I wanted to be the husband I wanted to be. Sex drive was abysmal. And I was in a rut, man, a really sad situation. Speaking of the shift work, I was on night shift one night, saw the Facebook ad, and read through it, watched all the videos, and pretty skeptical. But I said, what the heck? Let me schedule a call because I can tell this guy no if I get the scam vibe. So fast forward to the Facebook call, and believe it or not, there was actually a guy on the other end that called himself Coach Joe. It was a real guy, and you were there, and we discussed things. You actually took interest in my shift schedule and my family life and different things in my current routine, and you wanted to help. You wanted to build a program that would actually fit that routine, that schedule, and work for me, and then start teaching me how to eat for my body type, my goals, how to work out for those same goals. Changed my life. What I learned is just invaluable. It's absolutely invaluable. If you're on the fence about signing up, let me just go ahead and say simply, it is absolutely worth it. I tell people all the time that apart from my salvation experience, my marriage, and having kids, there is nothing that has impacted my life more than Heartletics. Apart from those other three things, it really has absolutely changed everything about my life. I was able to create habits that I can sustain for the rest of my life on how to work out, how to teach my kids to work out, how to eat better, how to impart those same eating habits to my family. And by extension, it has been able to share that with others and better their lives as well. So I am a different person. Heartletics is a different program, and it's not about a different feature. It's not about different workouts, different meal plans, but it makes a difference. The difference is what it makes in your life if you allow it. And I'm currently now 3 to 4 years through beyond doing the program, and I'm sustaining right around a 90-pound loss. I haven't put the weight back on, and I've maintained about a 15% body fat count. I am completely off my blood pressure medication. And it's just really, it's almost emotional for me because, man, it has highly, highly impacted and changed my life in every aspect.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm going to say is going to echo what Joe and Brian have already said, really. But, the things I've tried was Slim Fast, Hydroxycut, Nutrisystem multiple times. Even going way back, the cabbage soup diet. I don't know if anybody's heard of that. It was way back, but my biggest failure, if you want to say that, is I've been in the gym since I was in high school, right? And in my early 20s, I got heavy and I decided to go back to the gym, and I was working out 5 days a week, and I lost a few pounds, but like they say, you can't out-train a poor diet, right? So no matter how hard I tried, it didn't work. I worked my butt off in the gym, and it just didn't work because I didn't know, nutritionally, I didn't know what I was doing. So those are the things I've tried. And as far as how I found you, I knew I needed to do something. I was in my mid 40s. I'm coming up on 50. I was having trouble tying my shoes, like Joe said. I was just uncomfortable in my own skin. I couldn't look in the mirror without being disgusted. I was in a size pant 42 and thinking I need to do something. And I just kept saying it over and over, but taking no action. And when I finally got to the point where I was creeping in a size 44, I was on social media, just you see all kinds of stuff online, and you were the only one that stuck out, like Brian said, that seemed to be true. And I happened to send you a text or whatever on social media, and you got back to me, and I'm sure you remember. I said, "How do I know it's you?" And like you said, you sent me a photo of yourself in your own kitchen, giving me a gun show. So that's how we got started. I mean, I guess it was destined to happen, right? Well, I could talk about all the physical attributes that I've gained, right? So I've lost 50 pounds. I'm down to a pant size 36, back to where I was in high school. But, and Brian and Joe both hit it. It's really the mental aspect, right? So I am stronger mentally. There's no start fresh Monday anymore. There's no, I'll get to it some point. It's every day. This is a lifestyle. Like I think when I first talked to you, we talked about the word diet. That word's no longer in my vocabulary. Matter of fact, I see it as die-T, right? Because diets don't work. It's food is fuel. You just got to fit it into your lifestyle. So that's the huge part about Heartletics. It teaches you your mindset, and I guarantee you, once you get your mindset right, everything below will fall into place.
Absolutely, man. Weak mindset, weak body, right? Strong mindset, strong body.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're on the fence and you're floating around like I was, like a leaf, and you think you don't, or you think you can do it, but you really don't know. I mean, take the leap, man. Sign up for a call. It's free, and if nothing else, you're going to teach somebody on that call some things that they didn't know before. Yeah. So it is by far the best investment I've ever made in my life. I'm a better father, a better husband, better brother, just a better person overall. And I'm never going back.
Well, just like the other guys, I tried the fad diets, Weight Watchers, keto, low carb was a big one, and intermittent fasting was probably the last thing I tried. And I would lose weight on a lot of those. But, like Brian said, as soon as, these things aren't sustainable, and as soon as you stop, you can put the weight back on plus some. So I guess I got up to about 430 pounds. And I was, lost. I didn't know what to do. I thought I tried everything, and I just didn't know what to do. I was considering doing weight loss surgery. And then right around that time when I was considering that, I stumbled upon an ad on Facebook, and it was you. It piqued my interest. So, I started looking into it more, watching your videos, watching your Facebook lives for a while. And then, I signed up for a call. So I was an athlete in high school and into college, right? I played football. So most of my life, I've lifted weights and worked out and things like that. Obviously, I got away from that, getting up to 430 pounds. But when I was looking for what can I do, I don't know. I tried to work out before. I know how to lift weights. It just doesn't work. I think learning how to eat for my body type, learning the right way, and just gaining that knowledge, not having that understanding before, was a big piece missing. And that was something that really, really helped me, and, helped me that first few weeks. And I really, lost a lot of weight and figured that out. The physical part is great. Yeah, everybody comes in, everybody learns, gains the knowledge and gains the tools. I think the secret sauce with Heartletics is this right here. It's the community, it's the group, it's the mindset. Like I said, I was an athlete on many teams, and I think that was something missing. Having that atmosphere, the locker room atmosphere, having the guys around, and just the support, and guys to hold you accountable. It's a big thing too. Accountability, support, and just being there when you're down to pick you up. That was a big one for me. It still is. So if you're on the fence and you're obviously watching this video for a reason, it's because nothing you've tried before worked. And you got a bunch of guys here telling you their story and their success, and everyone here is a winner. Everyone here is a champion. And it's really not a hard decision when you think about it. It's probably the best investment I've ever made, even though, at first I didn't think it was something I could afford or do, but I figured it out, worked it out, and I've gotten the return tenfold.
I grew up liking all the bad foods, and I can only eat the good foods for so long before I start, going back and kind of being who I am. I've also done like paleo, cutting out carbs and, eating like a caveman. And that worked as well for, a year and a half. Eventually a brother needs a pizza, and paleo just ain't cut out for that. From a workout perspective, I've tried stuff like P90X, Insanity. So clearly that stuff didn't last. It became clear to me after trying and failing in so many different things that I had sort of looked at on my own that I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I need help. I need somebody who's going to not only teach me right from wrong and teach me what kind of habits that I need to have to sustain throughout my life, but also to hold me accountable for it. How that became Heartletics, for those who don't know, I lost my mother to diabetes. By the time she passed away, diabetes had taken her legs an inch at a time. So when she finally passed away, she was a bilateral amputee. And a year and a half, 2 years ago, I got doctor took some blood work, and he officially classified me as a diabetic. I mean, I was just as fat as I was tall. My A1C was through the roof. My blood sugar was through the roof. And when he told me that, my first thought was my mother sitting in a wheelchair with no legs. And then the second thought was seeing her in a casket. And then I thought, well, all right, maybe this kid who doesn't know anything, maybe he does know something. So I started sort of following you on Facebook and seeing what the group was about. But so after probably 5 or 6 months in the program, I got new blood work, and my A1C went from 8 something to under 5, and my blood sugar went from over 200 to under 100. And I was probably down 25 pounds maybe. And my doctor was amazed by it. My total weight loss, I started right around 230-ish, probably a little bit more. Now I'm hovering about between 175 and 188 pounds. My body fat went from over 30% to I'm hovering right around 21% now. Hopefully to get that in the teens sometime soon. For those people who are on the fence, the only thing I can tell you is that people of a certain age have a pretty static environment of people that they can lean on. I know mine do, right? I have my work friends, I have my longtime friends, and this group and these partners that we have in this group have expanded my circle of friends almost doubled it, right? And you just don't get that many opportunities to expand your circle that often, that late in life. What the program has taught me, it's taught me how the mechanisms behind how to lose weight, not the foods I need to eat, or the good foods or the bad foods, or the good foods or the bad foods, because there are no good or bad foods. There's just food. And if I eat bad foods, right, then I feel bad and I feel guilty, and it all starts over again. Here, I eat what I want. I eat smarter, and I eat healthier, but I still eat what I want. If brother needs a pizza, brother's going to get him some pizza. And that's part of the beauty of the program, is that it's customized to the things that I enjoy and the things that I don't enjoy. So the benefits of of the knowledge that I've learned from the coaches, plus the community itself, plus the fact that everything is customized for the things that I enjoy, it made it easy to join, and it makes it easy to stay.
I did Weight Watchers, I did Jenny Craig and Nutrisystem. The thing about Jenny Craig and Nutrisystem in particular is, aside from the fact that the food is awful, when you're eating that prepackaged food, you're not learning anything. Because if you stop eating that prepackaged food, how do you apply that to what's in the supermarket, what's in your daily life? You can't. So it doesn't teach you anything sustainable. Yes, you'll lose some weight, and then as soon as you don't want to eat that food anymore, it comes right back. And then one of the last things that I had done before Heartletics was Slim Fast, and I was starving myself, like on practically no food, and getting absolutely no results for it either. It was just miserable. And that was because I had no understanding of how to properly feed my body for the results that I wanted. Starving yourself like that is not going to get you where you want to go.
Yeah.
As far as, where I was at, I was in a bad place. I think the biggest thing that I, think back on is I had kind of lost that zest for the things that, are in life that are enjoyable, because I just felt so lacking in energy, lacking in enthusiasm. I would go to work, I worked very sedentary, and then I would come home and be very sedentary. So it was, in front of a computer all day at work, and then coming home to be either on the couch, in front of the TV, or in front of the computer at home doing, other stuff. And so I just quickly came to the realization that that was not a way to live. Or I shouldn't say quickly, it really built up over a long time. But also, in addition to that, I knew that I had lost my dad when he was 57. I was approaching 50, and just alarm bells started going off. It was like, you're heading down that same path. I mean, my dad had circulatory issues, heart issues, all kinds of problems. And a lot of it was due to the way he lived his life. He was heavy, he was not, very physically active. And I realized I was in the same place. So I kind of started to see that I needed to do something to change all that, but I didn't know how. And that kind of leads me to finding you on Facebook. I started to realize it's kind of like, I'm not a car guy, right? So if my car is broken, I don't know how to fix it. I have to go to an expert, a mechanic, And I sort of came to the same realization. I had done some of those crazy, workout gadgets that you see online, all those things. None of it was doing anything for me because I didn't know what I was doing, other than buying something. And I realized that, kind of like when you need to get your car fixed, you need the expert. I needed an expert to fix this. And so I started seeing your ads. And at first I was unsure. First, I was unsure of you, right? Of, the reliability of it, etc. As I watched more and more of your content, I became less concerned with that because I really liked what I was hearing and it felt sensible, and more concerned with, am I capable of doing, what would be asked of me in a program like this? Because I came from a background of being very inactive and I didn't really have a lot of knowledge in this area. So when I finally kind of got the nerve to mention to my wife that this was something that I was following and looking at, she said, well, do you think he works with couples? And I reached out to you. You said you did. We scheduled a call, and right on that call, you dove into our lifestyle, our schedules, our family life, and I could see that you were putting together in your head stuff that made sense for the way we lived our life. It wasn't just, here's what you do, go to it. And I remember asking you, is this something for someone who doesn't, know what they're doing, who hasn't had the experience? And you said, absolutely. We're going to hold your hand every step of the way. And you did. There was never a question that I had that went unanswered. From even before signing up, my whole life changed. I lost about 90 pounds. And sustainably lost it, right? It's continuing, my body's continuing to evolve in the way I want it to. Jen lost, I think, about 30 pounds or so. And we both continue to live this lifestyle sustainably and enjoy it. As far as the other things that went along with that physical change, I no longer have that lethargy, that lack of energy, right? I feel excited about things again. I feel like I'm, taking control of my life. I feel pride, right? That was something, I was covering myself up in the summer, at the pool, at the beach, whatever, I didn't want to show my body. I would kind of say, oh, I burn easily, right? And that was the excuse to, go in the pool with the t-shirt and all that. But it was really just not wanting to be seen. And now, I can't wait for warm weather so I can walk around in tank tops and feel good about myself. I enjoy that. So yeah, the program really, just cemented a new life for me, my wife, and my family. My son was on the track team. I wanted to be able to run with him. We did that. He's now in college. He's working out the college gym, through stuff that I've learned in Heartletics and I've passed on to him. It just had an impact on the whole family.
I'll make it short and sweet. I mean, before I had tried everything, Herbalife, Nutrisystem, believing that, calories in versus calories out was going to get me where I'd wanted to go, but was just tanking everything I was doing. And I was in the gym for 5 years, 5 days a week, getting nowhere. I was moving weight, getting no results. That was it. I was on blood pressure medication, cholesterol medication. My testosterone level was tanked. They were fixing to put me on TRT. My quality of life sucked. There was nothing there. And I came across one of your Facebook ads, and I got your free fat loss guide and sent you over a message, and you called me. And much like Jimmy, you told me what I needed to hear, not what I wanted to hear. And the first time I turned you down, and I'd like to say it because I was skeptic, but the fact of the matter was, I had no self-esteem. I had no confidence. I was a coward. I used a coward's way out, making an excuse. Well, through the 6 months of telling you no to signing up, a lot of health stuff got worse. And you called me back just out of the blue one day, called me and said, "Are you ready to get off your ass and start getting results?" I said, "You know what? Let's do this." It's the best yes I ever made in my life. Not only for me, but for my family. My entire family has gotten healthier. I am off my blood pressure medications. I'm off my cholesterol medications, and that's amazing because my family has a history of heart disease. My dad died of heart attack. My testosterone level is off the freaking charts. It's 4-digit now. Whenever I started this program, it was 196. It's 4 digits now. It's freaking crazy. My doctor can't believe it. And thing about it is, guys, time is precious. Time is the one thing you're not going to get back. I regret not saying yes that first time and losing that 6 months, because that's 6 months I'll never get back. But time is precious. And the longer you wait, the longer you stay on the fence, the longer you come up with an excuse and not believe in yourself, not believe, like me, I didn't believe I was worthy or able to do this. The longer you stay that way, the more unhealthy you're going to get. So step up, have the courage to believe, because now my chest sticks out further than my stomach does. Vice versa, when I began, I had a gut. Now I walk around with my shirt off. I walk around in a pair of shorts, happy. I go jump in the pool with the kids. I have confidence now. I have respect for myself, and I sustain everything I've got because of the habits that I've learned through this program, through this community, and the amazing friendship that I've got throughout this entire situation. It's just been amazing for me and my family.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody else, I tried everything, and I mean everything. And, none of it's really sustainable or works because you don't have the community that you have here. And that's the biggest thing, right? You start things by yourself, you do diets alone, programs, whatever you want to call them. And if there's nobody there to hold you accountable, it's not going to work. Plus, the knowledge that you get from those programs is not enough for you to sustainably hold yourself. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing here. And coming here, everybody talks about numbers, and numbers are great and all that, but the mindset is really where, I find the most gain for myself, right? Because, before you got here, your mindset, what were you doing? You probably weren't doing anything at all. I know I wasn't trying to keep myself in check at all. Everything in my brain was, negative and condescending and not helpful at all. And then you come here and you learn about mindset and making sure that you're taking care of this. Because what drives your progress and your habits and everything else that you do is in your mind. So if you can't get your mind right, you're probably not going to get your weight loss and your fitness right. So, I mean, what drove me here was just a spiral of not being able to accomplish my goals. And what I thought I wanted was actually weight loss in numbers. But what I really actually wanted was to get my mindset correct.
If you're somebody right now that's struggling and you just don't know where to start, where to begin, you can obviously go check out Heartletics. We have some free guides, right, that everybody's been kind of mentioning. Or, hey, you can just schedule a free discovery call as well. and just find out if maybe coaching is a good fit for you. And maybe you got to, really gain some inspiration from all the guys here where you're like, man, maybe that's the thing that I'm missing. It's like, I don't have support. I don't have community. I don't have, people in my corner holding me accountable, helping me stay on track with my goals. And maybe that's why, you haven't had success. But sure enough, schedule that call. See if once again, maybe Heartletics is a good fit for you. And then lastly, maybe you already scheduled that call and you're watching this in terms of like, okay, hey, maybe Joe sent me over this video in terms of like, what to experience. You guys just heard the story right here, sure, personalized meal plans, sure, personalized workouts, sure, personalized check-ins. But at the end of the day, anybody can offer that, right? What makes Heartletics unique and different than everybody else is the fact that like it's an investment into you, right? It's an investment into you. So what does that mean? You're gaining something. You're gaining the knowledge of knowing how to properly eat. You're gaining the knowledge of knowing how to properly train for your body type, your goals. But most importantly, you're gaining a community. You're gaining a brotherhood. You're gaining people that is in your corner that truly care about your best interest.